It's a teen talk skating podcast where I embarrass myself. Hello, and welcome to episode number 45 of the Teen Talk Skating Podcast. My name is Van Gogh, and I hope you all are doing very well. This week for me was life changing in a way. I don't want to use that word because I feel like that's very special, like life changing. But let's just say a lot of stuff happened this week. And in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. And in a lot of ways, I'm still processing it. I don't know if that's super dramatic or anything, but yeah, my life is kind of crazy. But you know what? It's me and my little buddy, best friend Stitch against the world. Um, thank you for everyone listening and everything. And I have to say, I'm very sorry for the late upload last week on the episode about Cup of China. Issues with the storage of like the files I had used for the theme and the intro and outro of Program of the Week were like, I don't know how to, I don't think they were corrupted. I just think they were old files and they needed to be like restored or something. But yeah, I got the episode out about 6 hours late, so I'm very sorry for that. Hope you didn't miss me in those 6 hours, but thank you so much for still listening to it. And yeah, we have a very hectic episode this week. I've written 18 pages of notes for this episode, which, usually I feel like I only write about 14 or 15. So yeah, pretty crazy. But because we have such a long episode, why don't we get right into the program of the week? It's time to hear me sing, which I know is not your favorite thing because who likes to hear me sing? Let's be honest. Not even me. Not even me when I hear myself. Never gonna have a Broadway career, I guess, right, Stitch? It's okay. Listen to your program of the week. Have fun. Program of the week. Okay, so for our program of the week this week, we have a ice dance program from a team who just announced their retirement. It is our 2022 Olympic champions, Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron, from France. They just announced their retirement. They are no longer going to be competitively competing. They haven't been competing in a while since 2022 Worlds, but they announced their final retirement. Like, we're not going to come back to the sport, which made a lot of people, including me, very sad. But because they are such a beautiful team who did so many innovative things for the sport of ice dance. But in order to kind of honor them this week, I decided to pick one of their most iconic programs. Honestly, maybe not one of their most iconic programs. I feel like this one's actually kind of underrated sometimes. But it is their free dance from the 2016 European Figure Skating Championships to build a home and Rain in Your Black Eyes. This is a very modern free dance. It is contemporary themed. Not themed, it is contemporary. It isn't even a theme. It does feel like it fits right into some type of contemporary dance that you're just watching. It's just organically that, just told on the ice instead of the ground. Um, the word that comes to my mind is smooth. Like, it's so smooth that you don't even think they're skating on ice. You just think they're sliding through clouds. Um, the lifts in this program are my favorite part, especially the straight line lift where Gabriela Papadakis, she does two different, like, they do two different positions in the lift, and they're both like right on the music, and it's so beautiful. Especially the last one, she's kind of leaning forward and having her hand out, so beautiful. Especially right on the music, right on the piano note is so beautiful in that moment. Some of the part with the choreo lift at the very end is just so, again, so beautiful. I just feel like they're in so much joy throughout this program. It does start off slow, but it builds up in a bit in momentum. I feel like that really comes out with that joy that they just have so beautifully done for themselves. And there's this moment where they're both like hand on each other's like shoulder and they're leaning back, and it's so beautiful to watch. And I just enjoy how unbothered they feel, you know what I mean? I feel like they just seem so unbothered and so we're okay and this is it and this is our moment. And I love that for them so much. The other steps in this program are also beautiful. They're smooth, they're clean, the edges, they all go well together. I really also enjoyed the twizzles in this program were really pretty, and some of the other like step sequences and stuff like that. Also, just so clean as can be that you just don't even, again, you're not even thinking they're on ice. They're on clouds. They're on fluffy ice cream. That's weird. But it's beautiful, and I have to say, please go watch this program. It is from Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron. They're 2016 Europeans free dance. Congrats, or maybe not congrats, but we all love your skating, and we're all so sad now that you're retired, but we will continue to look back on your programs with a lot of joy and a lot of happiness and a lot of memory of the times and the skates that you created for us. Now it is time for your main episode. That was your program of the week. Okay, people, we have a lot to get through this episode. It is absolutely chaotic. I don't even know what's going on. You don't even know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. Me and Stitch are sitting here crying. But I cannot believe that we are actually at the very, very end of the Grand Prix series. Those 6 weeks went by extremely fast. Skate America, Skate Canada. I'm like, what country? Skate America, Skate Canada, Grand Prix de France, NHK Trophy, Finlandia Trophy, and we ended off at Cup of China last week. This week we are going to the Grand Prix Final in France. In where is it this year? Grenoble, France, and this is a preview episode, so I'm going to be previewing about who I think will place where here at the Grand Prix final, why I think that, etc. By the time you see this episode, it's, some of the events are already going to be done. Not all of them, but some of them are going to be done, so don't blame me. I'm sorry. The timing just didn't work out, okay? But we are already at the Grand Prix final. I think that has been so crazy. And this whole Grand Prix series has, of course, only been chaos, chaos, and chaos. And I'm very unsure about how this final will go, but we will definitely see with all the craziness that is sure to come with it, I think. We just gotta wait, and I feel like it's already gonna get crazy. I'm trying to not see a lot of results yet, but at the same time, I kind of want to see them at the same time, so it's kind of hard. But yes, it is a crazy, crazy, crazy Grand Prix season, and I'm sure it's going to be a very, very crazy, crazy, crazy final. And I want to say these are just my predictions, and honestly, some of them may or may not be a little biased, but let's be honest, you didn't hear anything. I have to say, like, I feel like this time I actually try to do the predictions, like, correctly. And I'm also specifically only going to be doing the senior Grand Prix final, and not the junior Grand Prix final. But if you followed the Junior Grand Prix series, or you just want to watch some up and coming juniors that are, the top of their sport as well, please go watch that. Please follow them as well. There are highlights in all of the disciplines. I do know that the men's event is very, very competitive this time around at the Junior Grand Prix Final. Um, all the disciplines are sure to be very, very exciting. So please go watch it on. Please go watch that on as well. But the pressure is on. The pressure is on here at the Grand Prix Final. It is, before we get into all the previews, the Grand Prix Final really is the main, hardest, top competition in the fall half of the season. And then, of course, we have Worlds in March in the spring half of the season. But this is kind of a preview for World in itself. It is a major competition. Um, you know, you have to qualify to get here to the Grand Prix final, which is super duper difficult, especially with placements and scores and all of that. So it is a huge deal to even be here. And that's something I would say for a lot of skaters, like, how are you, you made it here. It's like already a huge accomplishment. And to win is obviously even huger. But yeah, I will say that this is such an important competition to keep your eyes on because Worlds in March. This is a great predictor of how that will go. And of course, you can also take it to interpret, Europeans and four continents, but I feel like those don't get interpreted as much because those are obviously region specific. Okay, so I should probably stop yapping for so long. In the men's event, I'm gonna read off the names of the qualifiers first. First, we have Ilya Malinin, Yuma Kageyama, Shun Sato, Kevin Amos, Daniel Grazel, and Mikhail Shidorov. If you remember last week from Cup of China, Adam Chaumfa did from France. He did qualify to his home Grand Prix final, but he had an injury and he had to withdraw, which is why Mikhail Shidorov of Kazakhstan is the alternate going in. One thing I want to say, it's great to have a lot of different countries represented in the men's event. There's 6 skaters. They're from 5 countries: the U.S., Japan, France, Italy, and Kazakhstan, which is really interesting. That we have so many different countries. This is not the same case in the women's event, which we will talk about later. And this is huge chaos potential. I feel like the men's event, we know it. Mark Henready has said it at this point. The men are many. I'm just saying, the men are many. The men are many. And so I definitely do think we could see anything here happening, but this is what I am predicting. So I'm gonna go from sixth, fifth, fourth, third, second, and first. In sixth place, I am predicting Kevin Amos of France, who honestly came into this Grand Prix season with a lot of doubt casted on him. Not many that thought he would even reach the Grand Prix final or even medal at his Grand Prix events because of a lot of struggles in the later half of last season. He didn't qualify for the European free skate, and he didn't. He ended up withdrawing from Worlds, and he had a one really bad competition early this season as well, a domestic competition. But he went to Skate America. He really proved everyone wrong. 1 second there, and then went to Finlandia Trophy and 1 second there. I put him in sixth place here at the Grand Prix final because I just don't think he has the consistency and the technical potential that the other men currently have in the rest of the field. I still do think that he could pull a huge surprise if he landed all of his quad toes cleanly, but he did struggle with them back at Grand Prix Finland, where we saw a lot of the minor errors started popping in with a lot of the quad toes, especially. And his quad toe is his only quad that he is currently performing. So, even having issues on that does put him at a technical disadvantage compared to the rest of the field, with men such as Ilya Malinin or Yuma Kageyama with multiple quad types, for example. So if he wants to win, if he wants a medal here, which I definitely think Kevin Amos could do, I think he really, really wants to be clean. Artistically, he is. Honestly, I would say he is the strongest of the field artistically. It's just that the technical side is not as good, so I'm hoping he can do better there. But even if the result isn't the best, even if he doesn't medal, I do think that this was a huge result and a huge victory for Kevin Amos to be here, really proving all those data wrongs this Grand Prix season. I'm telling you, like, I didn't see a lot of people say, I'm pretty sure Kevin Amos will qualify for the Grand Prix final this year. No, a lot of people saw, what his results were last season or earlier this season at French Masters, a domestic competition, and they said, no, it's not going to happen. I saw predictions putting in last at his Grand Prix, etc. So it is a huge victory here to even qualify, be able to qualify here for the Grand Prix final. And, great job for Kevin Amos here. And again, looking ahead for the rest of the season, I'm interested in what he will show at Europeans as well. I feel like Europeans will be a very interesting competition if Kevin Amos is selected for Europeans. But we will definitely see how all of that will go. In fifth place, we have from Italy, Daniel Grazel, who is a skater with a lot of mystery and doubt around him. I've talked about it time and time again. Daniel Grazel has a doping scandal in his history. You know, it is quite mysterious still. No one knows what really happened. He was not expected to qualify for the Grand Prix final this season as well, like Kevin Amos, but kind of for a different reason. He did not compete at all last season. I think a lot of people saw or thought that he would have a lot of struggle coming back to competition, not having that much experience, but he did rebound very nicely to qualify here after good results at both of his Grand Prix events. Let me see. Was he second at both of his Grand Prix events this year as well? He was second at NHK Trophy and third at Finlandia Trophy, but he did quite well in order to qualify here. I do think the main thing is that he also does not have the best consistency, especially with rotating his quads. The free he is, I believe, trying 3 quads like he has been this season. If rotated cleanly all the way, they will give him a lot of points, but that is something he has kind of struggled with this season so far. And if he wants to win, he obviously needs a short program to stay clean as well. I don't believe he has had a he's had one clean short program this season, which is a really good thing, and I'm hoping that we might see that again from him. He's really hoping that he can pull off that clean performance in order to get them. But he needs higher scores, honestly, compared to the rest of the field that is a bit more consistent than he is, which is why I put him in fifth place here. Due to that, I definitely think that he has a lot of chance to get onto the podium. Again, if everything is clean, if everything goes his way, artistically he isn't as strong as say Kevin Amos, but he is a skater who has worked on his artistry in the past, so I don't know where the judges will really go with that. It will be quite interesting to see what happens there, but I am not a fortune teller, so I cannot really say, but I can predict things. In fourth place from Japan, we have Shun Sato, who honestly could be surprising here. He is not the most consistent in terms of scores. That is, I think, the main thing preventing me from really putting him on the podium. He isn't the most consistent in terms of scores. He's kind of fluctuated around 260s, 270s, 280s. He really wants his best scores, and he did set a new personal best this season at the Challenger Series Lombardia Trophy with 285.88. So, if he landed that score again, could be a medal position. Some issues in the free have been caused by his attempt to try a quad flip. And he has tried to do a quad lutz as well. You know, he is one of those skaters going for a lot of different types of quads, but he doesn't tend to be the most consistent at those quads. I feel like the quad flip, he just doesn't want to pop it, and he really wants to land it cleanly rotated to kind of be his secret weapon, if you can say. I always say that. It's like his secret weapon. But Shinsato is surely one of the strongest Japanese men. I definitely think um, kind of this has been proven by his qualification to the Grand Prix Final. I'm so fancy, oh my gosh. But hopefully he can land his jumps cleanly. And I feel like he is another skater who has improved on his artistic ability, especially this season. I feel like his choreography is well put together, and I feel like his kind of presentation to the audience is a lot better as well. But again, is he gonna get on the podium? I definitely think that if you ask me from Shun Sato, Daniel Grazel, and Kevin Amos, that are I put in the bottom three here, Shun Sato has the most chance to be on the podium. If again he's clean, everything goes his way. Um, Even in his personal best free skate at Lombardia Trophy, he did pop the quad flip. He wants to rotate that thing because that's gonna earn him a good 10 extra points, probably more than that with even better GOE, and everything. So I'm definitely hoping that he can land his jumps here and show us just how just how much technical prowess he has. Okay, in third place, I think this is my craziest pick out of all the predictions in this episode. Maybe in third place, I picked Mikhail Shadorov from Kazakhstan, who is an alternate, right? He came in here as an alternate for Adam Shalamov, who withdrew from the Grand Prix final. But I honestly do think Mikhail Shadorov is a skater who a lot of people are starting to see as a dark horse. I know I said this last episode, I think, in Cup of China. I always say, I told you so. I feel like Mikhail Shadorov has always been a dark horse to me, and he clearly is doing that here. He is a skater with so much technical potential that I do feel like he could get on the podium if he could get on the podium if he had similar skates to what he's had kind of this year. He had a personal best short program at the Challenger Series Dennis 10 Memorial and a personal best free skate just 2 weeks ago at Cup of China. So, if he is able to kind of put those two programs together and do them cleanly, even at Cup of China, his free skate was not clean all the way. So if he can get two programs done cleanly, I see major scores. I see like major scores. 290 probably is where I would put him at his best. If he can land everything cleanly, his performances at Grand Prix de France were off. I feel like a lot of men at Grand Prix de France did kind of off performances. He only got 231 points there compared to his personal best, which is 276. Um, but he really redeemed himself at Cup of China. You know, it is French ice once again. I don't know if that's going to factor into how he performs. Is the French ice cursed? I've seen a lot of people say the French ice is cursed, but you know, besides the point, it is whoever skates the best with the right condition, the conditions that they're given, right? But regardless, I do think Mikhail Shadorov has come into the season as a dark horse. He's going to leave this season as a dark horse. He's lived up to that immensely. And I definitely think that we will see many successes in his future from him, if not here at the Grand Prix final. But he is my third place pick, and I am quite keen on trying to get 100% on this. We'll probably find out next week how well I did. I'm trying to get 100%, but I honestly probably, with how crazy this sport is, am I going to get 100%? Definitely not. In second place here from Japan, we have Yuma Kageyama, who is not playing catch up, I would say, kind of like he's playing catch up. I don't know. I don't know how to explain. He is, I would say, probably seen solid in second right now, but has the potential to get first with two very clean free skates with very high GOE, which is where he shines. Whereas another skater may not have had have another I can't talk. Another skater may not have a lot of high Jui. I think Yuma Kayama is one of those skaters that the judges love to like fours, five, just throw it on him. His short programs have been excellent all this season for Yuma Kageyama. The free skate is, where he does struggle a little bit more. His short programs have all been pretty good. His free skates have not been as good. His free skate at Grand Prix Finland especially landed him fifth place in the free skate there, but still first overall. But he wants to avoid those same mistakes. He had popping calls there, repetition calls that he did accidentally, and it was quite an unfortunate program to watch from him. But he is hoping to get a much, much better program here, free skate here especially. And I think Yuma Kayama out of all of this group, it is the most obvious that he's grown artistically just from the way he kind of presents himself, from the way he skates. Obviously, he's worked with Carolina Costner, which I absolutely love because Carolina Costner is one of my favorites. And I honestly do see Yuma Kayama as someone who could take first depending on how clean he is and the results of this next skater that is coming up. But do watch out for Yuma Kageyama. Just because I put him in second does not mean that he can't get first. I definitely do think he can get first if he skates cleanly. So in first place, I think this is really no surprise. This is kind of the person to beat here. From the USA, it is the quad god Ilya Malinin, who really comes into this event as the one to beat. He won both of his Grand Prix events with really good scores, not any major mistakes. The free skate at Skate America wasn't his best work. He did, you know, make some slight errors here and there. They weren't super major, but in a sport like figure skating, you don't want to make any mistakes at all. You want to become flawless as possible. His quad loop is also not his cleanest jump. He's been attempting the quad loop, but I honestly do think he either wants to try doing a triple loop or try rotating it more, or he wants to clearly and cleanly rotate it without popping it. It has been giving him issues this season. I'm not sure if he is planning to take it out of his technical content, if he's planning to keep it in, but the quad loop is not his best friend so far this season. But we will definitely see what happens with it as we go along in this season, or I guess in this competition. And of course, the quad axle that he is the first man ever to do is a big question. He has not attempted it this season yet, but I don't know. Will he do it for, the big score? I don't know. Will he do it either for the big score or the big score, or as a safeguard against, our barrier, just like a a safe barrier for Yuma Kayama's score if in case that's clean, etc. Either way, I do think Ilya Malinin, another skater who has improved artistically, is kind of trying to earn his high component score, and so it's just the judges being like, yeah, nines, tens, whatever. I think he actually is improving artistically. He isn't the best. He isn't like the best in the field yet, but I definitely do think that he has improved. Qualified. He has qualified in his improvements to get better component scores. Oh my god. Okay, that was the men's event. I hope I got 100 there. I honestly do feel like maybe the men's event is my best prediction, maybe. But we'll see. Okay, for the women's event, we have Kaori Sakamoto, Amber Glenn, Wakaba Higuchi, Hana Yoshida, Moni Chiba, and Rina Matsuke. If you heard those names, you may have heard that 5 of those women, Kari Sakamoto, Wakaba Higuchi, Hana Yoshida, Mone Chiba, and Rina Matsuke, are all from Japan. Which honestly goes to show you, and I've been saying this all season, it goes to show you how deep and how competitive that field is. 5 out of the 6 women in this event, which is composed of, some of the best skaters in the world, are all from Japan. And there is one woman from America, Amber Glenn. I feel like figure skating is the only time I'm like USA. You know what I mean? I love the US and figure skating. But yeah, it is Amber Glenn versus 5 women from Japan, basically. And every single woman from Japan here is so competitive. And Amber Glenn is so competitive. This is going to be one of the most exciting women's events for me in like such a while. This season I do want to note that we had 2 major, competitors, not competitors, 2 major skaters from the women's field withdraw from their events, Luna Hendricks and Isabel Levito, due to injury and other issues going on. I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to qualify for the Grand Prix Final season, but obviously they did not. Unlike last year, they did qualify. They didn't go to their Grand Prix events. Isabel did place third at Skate America, but then she withdrew from Finlandia Trophy. But I definitely do think the field was impacted by that. But yes, this is going to be a very chaotic field, even without them. I hope both of them get better as well, and we see them later in the season. Okay, so for my 6th place prediction, we have from Japan, Rino Matsuke, who is a skater who came into this season not so much kind of in the spotlight. Last season, she was 17th at Japanese Nationals. She had some, lower scores at some of the domestic competitions in Japan that she did, but she has really proven what she is able to do. She is really my find this season. She's like my treasure trove of this season. I'm like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? Um, her free skate is my favorite out of this entire group. It is the most beautiful thing. I love her so much ever since I saw her skate at Skate Canada. But I am predicting a 6th place finish for Rina Matsuke just based on her scores, her artistic potential through the roof. Technically, she is not the strongest in the field. She has had highest or higher scores than the other skaters here. She has also been somewhat inconsistent at Skate Canada. We saw her put down a 10th place short program with a first place free skate to get to 2nd overall. So, it can be quite difficult to perhaps get out of that if she is making some technical mistakes. But I honestly hope I'm wrong because I really do enjoy her skating. Maybe she won't be 6th. Maybe she'll be 1st. I don't know. Honestly, do think that she could be a spoiler with how absolutely chaotic this group is. Good Jui will be her big strategy. Regardless, I think she should be super proud of herself, and she has gained so many new fans through her absolute fight for everything. And I hope she will really give it her all. Super proud of her for qualifying for the Grand Prix final. Yeah. In 5th place, we have someone who I always feel is a wild card for me. The surprise potential is very high for her, and that is Hana Yoshida, also of Japan. I think a lot of it will depend if she attempts the triple axel. Hana Yoshida has landed the triple axel in the past. This season, she has not been able to do it cleanly without a rotation issue yet, which has been her main issue that she's been facing throughout this season is that triple axel and how clean it can be. She where a lot of some of her, pluses or pros, I feel like, is with her confidence, because I feel like she is a very confident skater, and so I feel like her jumps always look very sure and strong, even if they aren't very clean. And so I she is just a huge variable for me. She could be 6th, she could be 1st, she could be anywhere in between for me. It really does depend on just how clean she can be, which I know she can be and she has been in the past, but it will be very, very, very interesting to see, will that triple axel take her to the top. In 4th place here, we have another skater again from Japan, you guessed it, Wakaba Higuchi, who has such a huge comeback going for her. She has made the comeback of the century for Wakaba, for herself. I don't know, for Wakaba, for herself. Not a lot of people expected this massive power from her due to struggle last season, coming back from injury. Even without her iconic triple axel, she has had really strong scores. That victory that she had at Skate America was absolutely everything. I think her performance in the free skate was so, like, yes, you just did that. And I am in love with her running up that hill free skate. But she really wants to rotate cleanly here in order to podium. If she's aiming for the podium, if she's aiming, she is aiming for the podium, obviously. But she wants to rotate cleanly here in order to achieve that podium position. She did get some quarter calls at Grand Prix de France, which were unfortunate. So she wants to rotate cleanly. But again, reaching the Grand Prix final has been huge for Wakaba. Considering this season, I mean, last season was such a struggle, unfortunately, with so many competitions that just didn't go the way she wanted to. This qualification is huge for Wakaba. That victory at Skate America was huge. That free skate was a power statement in front of the world of figure skating, and I so believe that. In 3rd place, we have from Japan, Moni Chiba, who comes in here with the most consistency in her Grand Prix. Out of all the skaters, she has had the most consistency in her 2 Grand Prix. The scores were really, really close to one another, just less than a point apart, actually. And so, this could be the key to victory here. If she is clean when other skaters are not, I think Moni Chiba could be the victor here. I can really see her winning if the others, might make mistakes and she stays completely clean, because she is really impressive at achieving, good height and flow and speed on her jumps and getting most of them done successfully, you know, a few quarter calls, under rotation calls, but really good scores regardless. I definitely do think that that can be her key to victory. She does not want to fall in the step sequence again like she did at Cup of China. That would be unfortunate again to see from her. But I really do think she's graceful. She's a very pretty free skater in her free skate, and I love the flow of that. And I think she has great skating skills from her as well. So I think for her, her main goal is to stay as consistent as she has been this season with those good results that she had at the 2 Grand Prix, and hopefully land on the podium. Okay, in 2nd place, this one, oh my god, this one, please. I'm really hoping. 2nd place, I'm predicting Amber Glenn from the USA, who, it's obvious she's like my favorite. Obviously she's my favorite. Like, let's be honest. Like, are we even like lying? Like, we'd be lying if we did not say if we said something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, she's the only non-Japanese skater here. She's representing Team USA. But Amber Glenn's strongest secret weapon is not really a secret. It is her triple axel. If landed cleanly in both the short program and twice in the free skate, the not twice. She's only doing it once. It landed it cleanly in the short and the free. It earns her major points. She is the only one in the field with a triple axel that is more consistent than not. I'm not saying every triple axel she's done has been perfect. Some of them have been under rotated, stumbles, etc. But this season she has been a whole lot better on the triple axel than she has been previously. She has to stay clean in both programs, and not pop like she has sometimes in the past. As well, she needs to do her three jump combo, which I think is probably going to be the most important key for her here, is that three jump combo along with the clean triple axels. Regardless if she medals or not, Amber Glenn should be so proud of herself for what she's accomplished this season. Two Grand Prix victories is major. I believe the statistic was like she's the first American woman since, in so many years to do that, which is a huge result for her. Um, way to go for showing people like do not give up on me because I'm not gonna give up on myself. I think that's like such like a boss move, and I think Amber Glenn is like my biggest inspiration of the year because I saw her struggle and now she's like dominating. Okay, the Amber Glenn domination mission is still going, and I'm in charge of it. I'm just saying. So yeah, Amber Glenn in second place, which puts in first place from Japan the three-time world champion Kaori Sakamoto. I truly think Kaori is really the one to beat here. She is the three-time world champion. Last season, she was gold at almost every event she was in, etc. We did see some mistakes seep through at Skate Canada. That free skate at Skate Canada was not her best work. She placed far from her personal best there. She fell twice there and under rotated three times. So, that not the program that she wants to perform, but her free skate at NHK Trophy just 2 weeks later was absolutely amazing. I believe it's the highest scoring free skate, this season. And like it was pretty much almost completely clean aside from one underrotation on the triple flip. So she really wants to repeat the performances at that latter event from NHK Trophy to really be unstoppable. The word that comes to mind when I think of Kaori Sakamoto is beast. She's such a beast. Like she is the beast of all the beasts. This competition is really hers to take the title at. It is kind of hers to lose. She really wants to avoid edge calls, I feel like, especially on the triplets, which is one of her main issues. And yeah, I'm predicting her for first place in the women's event. Let's pop over to the pairs event. I'm always scared of the pairs, and I'm scared even more now. You know what I mean? I'm scared even more because there is a lot of potential for chaos. Let's talk about our qualifiers. We have Mira and Kiara, Hatsei Volodin, Conti Massi, Mentokina Barilava, Cam O'Shea, and Giardi Ambrosini. Giardi Ambrosini are alternates because the Canadian team of the world champions Slato and Deschamps did withdraw due to, I believe, illness from Deschamps, which is why um, Giardi and Brasina have been put in really late. I really struggle with these placements, not gonna lie. Last year it was quite a messy event at the Grand Prix Final for Paris with a lot of podium switching. Perhaps it will be messy again. I don't know. In sixth place here we have, for my prediction, from Italy, the alternates Giardi and Ambrosini, who again are late replacements for the withdrawal of Stellato and Deschamps. I'm really putting them here based purely on their scores this season. They haven't been on par as most of the other teams at this event. Still could pull a huge surprise. The 2024 Europeans second place there was a major result for them, but they just haven't found their footing yet this season in terms of consistency. But I'm hoping they'll be able to do that and could still pull a surprise here at the Grand Prix final. In fifth place, we have the American team of Ellie Kam and Danny O'Shea, who have had a huge result for appearing at the Grand Prix final. I think last season was, you know, a kind of still learning season for them. They, were a new pair, but they're obviously doing not the newest pair, but they were, still building up some of their consistency and things like that. But they're doing so much better now. They've really improved on a lot of their elements. Throws, especially, I feel like is the main thing. Have they had the highest scores compared to other teams? No, but they are looking to play clean and play spoiler. At Skate America, they got a personal best score that, is higher than some of the other teams' lowest scores. So perhaps if they stay clean, they can achieve a really good result. They're hoping for a repeat of Skate America with less mistakes on under rotations and those slight errors here and there that tend to creep in some of their elements. But again, really good skaters. In fourth place, we have the team from Italy, Conti and Massi, who really made a surprise by winning Cup of China, where they earn new personal best there. I would not be surprised if they got third here. I feel like third and fourth can be switched a lot here. I do not know really where it's gonna end up, but I'm hoping maybe I do know where it ends up. I'm kidding. I don't know how where it ends up. I promise, but I didn't change anything. I promise. But I do think Condi and Lassie they have proven in the past that they can be good at certain moments. Are they most consistent? No, they're not the most consistent, but they are a really good team who has proven, such as at the 2023 Worlds, that they are, they can be the ones to beat. In third place, I'm predicting, and this one is quite the shock as well, like Mikhail Shedorov in the men's event. I am predicting Metalkina and Barulava for third place here. This team is very unsure for me. I'm honestly only putting them in third because their score at NHK Trophy was so great. It will depend on how clean they skate. I feel like consistency here is probably not the best out of the group, along with their program component score. They will be relying on clean performances if they want a medal. Skate America was an unfortunate performance for them with just a fourth place finish there, really far from their personal best. But they really rebounded at NHK Trophy to, almost more than 20 points better than what they did at Skate America. So I feel like if they have that repeat performance again, they really do can. They really do can. They really can get back on that podium. In second place from Japan, we have the team of Miura and Kihara, whose really, really minor mistakes brought them down to second place at NHK Trophy, but they were stronger performances than the performances that they did at Ski America. They will be relying on clean performances. I think they have the best components out of the field, which, may be their key to victory, but they want to stay clean and away from minor mistakes, even slight differences in Dewey. They want to keep everything in the green, like all the other teams, obviously. But I do think if they stay clean, they do tend to get a better GOE than some of the other teams that we have here. I do think they are super strong and artistically probably the best here. But in first place, I am predicting the German team of Hasse and Volodin, who are the world bronze medalists. I feel like they are the ones to beat this season. They have really been at their strongest this season, apart from just their short program of Cup of China. The scores at Nebelhorn Trophy, the Challenger Series event, much earlier this season for them in September were, I believe, the highest we've seen from any pair this season. So it's obvious that they're like so good. They've always impressed me that they've managed such great scores when they are a much newer pair compared to others. I feel like that definitely does show you some of the things about like synergy and partnership that, maybe a really strong partnership combined with a lot of hard training does bring you good results even in a shorter period of time compared to other teams. Um, yeah, I feel like they are the ones to beat. Are they unstoppable? I would not say that at all. I do think Miura and Kihara are a really good team that could beat them. Maybe even Metalkina and Barulava could even defeat them. But I do think Hossie and Volodina have the best chance just from looking at their trajectory so far this season. I do think that they are the, ones to kind of beat here. Okay. In the ice dance competition, we have. I think this one will be surprising. In the ice dance competition, we have Fear and Gibson, Chalk and Bates, Gillis and Poirier, Guignard and Fabry, Lopereva Brisso, and Lajoie and Laga. We all thought ice dance was honestly like the vanilla, the normal discipline. But these Grand Prix standings really say otherwise because, a lot of people did not expect that, this is what happened. This is who would qualify. And I feel like something will go wrong. I don't know why. I just feel like something will go wrong in ice dance. I don't want to say that, but I kind of have to say that. I just think something is going to go wrong in this ice dance event. I don't know why. It scares the heebie jeebies out of me. I just think something's gonna go wrong. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry I said it. I bet something's gonna go wrong now. Okay, in sixth place here, I have from France skating at home. I think I'm gonna put Lopereva and Brissot here. They were the winners at Grand Prix de France, but I'm honestly like a lot of the sixth place ones here. I'm putting them here due to lower scores than the rest of the field this season. They did recently set new personal bests at the Warsaw Cup, the Challenger Series Warsaw Cup, which could make them rise up if other teams made mistakes. But in general, their scores just haven't been as high as Chalk and Base, Gilles Poirier, etc. But they have shown a lot of improvement and they've gained so many fans. Great for them for making the Grand Prix final, especially since it's at home in France. I think the really real question will be, can they do it? I think that will be a very interesting question to ask. Can they do it? I don't know. And so we will definitely see what is going to happen from them. Next we have from Canada, a really big fan favorite team, and that is the team of La Joie and Laga, who is another team that can again rise up in the case of if others make mistakes. My brain just wants to fart. I don't know why. If others make mistakes here, and they've improved a lot artistically and technically ever since the Olympic season when I first saw them. I think that's clear that they are such a better connected team as well, and I do think I love that for them. And yeah, that is fifth place for them that I put them. This one breaks my heart, but I honestly have to say it because I just think this will happen. In fourth place here, I have from Italy, Guignard and Fabry, who is my favorite team out of all the qualifiers here. I just don't know if the judges will put them forward at this event. At the other events, yes, the judges have given them okay scores, right? Not close to their best, but at Grand Prix de France, unfortunately, they made a fall mistake in the free dance that they definitely do not want a repeat of that here. Um, that will bring their score down, but they have gotten much higher scores historically than this season so far, which makes me think, maybe the judges won't put them in front this time. Maybe they're just not into the robot free dance idea. The components might not be as strong, etc. I don't know if that's true. I don't want it to be true because I love them as a team, but sometimes you gotta admit that that might be true. I honestly do think that might happen. I don't want it to happen. I do think that they're such a strong team. I hope they will stay clean and do two amazing performances. In third place, it is my chaos pick for the Ice Dance event. They are the only team to win both of their Grand Prix events when they were honestly only predicted maybe second, third at both. That is from the UK, Fear and Gibson. I definitely think that they could medal here. Ice Dance is very political, right? We all know this. It's very interesting in terms of scoring. Is their coaching and the UK really going to support them? I don't know. Strong events at their strong scores at their events this season, apart from maybe Grand Prix Finland, which wasn't the highest score, but they still won skating there. It's always interesting to see where they will place. I feel like third place or fourth place is possible for them here. Guignard and Fabi are quite neck to neck with them at this point. They did skate better than them at Grand Prix de France where they won. Wait, was that? No, they didn't skate there. Did they compete against Guignard Fabry? Yeah, I forgot. I don't think they did. For scratch that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely do think that they have kind of skated better this season, better and better and better. I don't know necessarily if that means the judges are gonna put them in front of anything. I don't know, but I just think that maybe they will be able to get third. I have no idea. In second place from Canada, we have my prediction, Gilles and Poirier. I'm putting them here in second based on their performances at Skate Canada specifically. Because at Skate Canada, they made amazing, amazing performances that really won the judges over. In the free dance at Grand Prix Finland, however, they did make a huge major twizzle error where I believe they only got level base on their twizzles or something like that, which, was quite unfortunate and put them in second place overall. Um, and there was a fall at the end of the tools as well that they do not want to repeat at all. I definitely think that they are a really strong team. Could maybe even challenge for first. They have placed first at the same event before. Ice Dance is really chaotic, y'all. I'm saying it. I think Gilson Poirier might be second. They might be first. They might be third. I don't even know. But really good for them for being here. I feel like they're such a staple team to watch that it's every season they come up with something different, and I love it. And I love how they just so like innovative with their styles. In first place, I put the two-time world champions, Chalk and Bates, recently married. They had a fall in the rhythm dance at Skate America, which hopefully was just a minor fluke that did end up placing them in second overall. But I hope they, are able to recover from that. They did recover from that super well skating at the NHK Trophy. They are, quite the strongest team here. I hope that they will not repeat that mistake that they had in Skate America. Even at Skate America, they did fall in the rhythm dance, but they put up a super strong free dance to be first in the free, but second still overall. So I do think that there is that potential for them to get, that bigger, better score. Is it going to be the big, better score that they're exactly hoping for? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, but I do think that they are a really good team, and I wish them the best. And I hope they are able to keep everything clean. Ice Dance Chaos is really eminent. Everything right now. I don't know. I feel like every team has made some type of mistake this season. I don't know. Yeah, I'm ready to be proven wrong. I said I wanted to get 100% on these predictions. I do not think I will. I'm ready to be proven wrong. Let the games begin. Let the games begin, okay? I am quite ready for this. Let the games begin. Let the ice dance, let the players, let the men, let the women, let all their games begin. And with that, that is all my predictions for the Grand Prix final. They will definitely not be accurate, let's be honest. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode of a Teen Talk Game podcast. My name is Van Gogh. Those are all my crazy predictions. Call me crazy for putting certain teams in third and other ones in first. I don't know, people. What I do know is that the next episode will be all about a review of everything that happened this season, or not this season, at this event, at the Grand Prix Final, which I'm sure is about to be crazy. So we will unpack all of that there. But thank you so much for listening to this episode of a Teen Talks Game podcast. My name is Van Gogh. I hope you have a great week. Watch the Grand Prix Final. Have fun. See you next week as I probably cry over everything that happened. And bye-bye.